No one can argue his arrest and conviction record. Michele gritted her teeth. She smelled defeat. The last thing she wanted in the whole wide world was to be paired with Nickerson again. So why send me on the case? If he's so great, why not let Mr. Wonderful go alone? Have a seat, Michele, Lieutenant Charbonneau said. Agitated, Michele perched on the edge of a stiff-backed chair in front of the lieutenant's desk. Chin in the air, she avoided eye contact with Nickerson. The 3 weeks they'd spent together on the Harbinger investigation last December were forever etched in her brain. 3 weeks tracking the truckers moving stolen merchandise from El Paso to Amarillo. 3 weeks drinking rot-gut coffee from paper cups and eating fast-food hamburgers from greasy sacks. 3 weeks cooped up in a patrol car with Nickerson. Not exactly her idea of heaven, but if the truth be told, it had been the most exciting time of her life, despite the fact she'd come out of the escapade with a bullet in her arm and a healthy dislike for the cocky Mr. Nickerson and his questionable police tactics. This is an unusual case, Lieutenant Charbonneau continued, involving the Racing Commission. Ah, Nick said, interest flickering in his dark eyes. Politics. Michele dropped her gaze, hoping Nick hadn't noticed that she'd been staring. As much as she wanted to deny it, the man fascinated her. Something about the way he moved, so self-confident and assured, demanded her attention. Maybe that was why he irritated her. She did not wish to be intrigued by a modern-day Wyatt Earp. Yeah, Charbonneau said grimly. This is coming down from the governor's office. You were hand-picked for the assignment, Nickerson. The lieutenant paused. Go on, Nick prompted. Charbonneau's eyes met Michele's. That's where you come in, Mallory. We need someone who knows horses. True enough. As the only child of a judge with a yen for horses and a blue-blooded mother who was a retired jockey turned riding teacher, Michele had been able to ride before she could walk. To escape the turmoil of family strife, she'd often fled on horseback, flying free and unfettered across the dry West Texas prairie. I need you two to go under cover, Lieutenant Charbonneau said. Together. Nick leaned forward and rubbed his hands along his blue jean-clad legs. Tell me more, Lieutenant. You're singing my song. Michele peeked at Nick. A shelf of ebony hair spilled down the collar of his leather jacket. The thin, straight scar riding his jawbone gleamed silver in the fluorescent lighting. She knew he coveted a position with the Texas Rangers. Since the Harbinger bust, Nick had been promoted to sergeant, and he was always on the lookout for special assignments. This one had been dropped neatly into his lap by the governor himself. Too bad she didn't share Nick's enthusiasm for covert operations. Michele preferred uniform duty, hated the deception inherent in undercover work. She was a lousy liar, and an even worse sneak. 2 areas where Nickerson excelled. Ray Charbonneau toyed with a rubber band. The Racing Commission believes there is a new synthetic drug, undetectable by blood or urine analysis, that they suspect is being administered to racehorses. What? Michele got to her feet, boots smacking against the linoleum. Scientific technology had honed drug testing to a degree so precise they could detect chemicals in even the most minute doses. She knew that if a trainer who used cocaine simply touched his horse's muzzle, the animal would test positive for the drug. Michele had assumed the sophisticated advances in detection would make racehorse doping obsolete. Apparently, she had underestimated the ingenuity of the criminal mind. There